An upcoming exhibit will feature artworks marking 50 years since the proclamation of Fernando Amorsolo as the first national artist of the Philippines. For more on that, we are now joined by Mr. Juan Carlos Pineda, President of Art House, and Amorsolo's daughter, Sylvia Amorsolo Lazo. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us.
Now, Mr. Pineda, would you mind telling us first why choose Fernando Amorsolo as, I guess, the muse for this certain exhibit?
I think it's very important to partner with the Fernando Amorsolo Foundation because he was the first proclaimed national artist in the Philippines, and that's what actually marked the Philippines in the global art community today. So we believe that he's a very iconic and pioneering artist for the Philippines.
And Ms. Sylvia, what are your reactions after finding out that, of course, your father is going to be honored in this special exhibit?
Well, we truly deeply appreciate Carlo Pineda and also my guests. And we are so thankful that we are being included in this exhibit for also for the ABSCBN Foundation. And it's just like moving on what used to do before, and for being so generous to other people.
This is for both Mr. Pineda and Ms. Sylvia, but first off, Mr. Pineda, I guess, why do you think it's so important to pay homage, of course, to our national artists and to preserve that history and, of course, the legacy that they have?
Well, what we want to do as Art House is to be able to introduce in a more contemporary setting the Amorsolo Brand, which is a heritage brand for us here in the Philippines. And what we would like to do is bridge the gap between the younger generation and the older, more senior masters in the art community today. So I think both need to be blended in order for us to move forward in propagating what art and culture is about in the Philippines.
How about for you, Ms. Sylvia? Why do you think it's always so important to remember, of course, artists and, of course, all the pieces that they brought because they're such crucial parts of Philippine culture and its history?
Yes, as of now, we have this modern times, and not everybody already have an idea who Fernando C. Amorsolo was, and actually, they are honoring their father, but doesn't mean that they have to stick on this way of painting, since they can have their own medium, and it's just sort of an inspiration depicting the country, culture, and daily chores of our people.
Mr. Pineda, would you mind telling us why the theme or the name of this exhibit is HIRAYA?
HIRAYA is because it's a Filipino term, a very local term that what you envision becomes reality. So we thought that it's a good opportunity for us to give the young emerging artists an opportunity to work with the more senior and experienced artists. And I think the best way to do it is by paying homage to the late Amorsolo, and I think it's a good opportunity for us given that it's his 50th anniversary this year. So it's really a milestone year for Amorsolo, and it would be a good jump-off point for us to introduce the younger artists to the new art investors as well.
We're celebrating 50 years. Is it also a coincidence, or that was really the point of also asking 50 artists to take part of this exhibition, or is it this exhibit?
Yes, actually, you got it spot on. We really, because it's 50 years, we really wanted 50 unique pieces, the way each artist interpreted their inspiration with the late Maestro Amorsolo. And we're very happy that all the artists came up with beautiful and nice pieces inspired by Amorsolo himself. So we're very, very grateful for this.
Do you think you can give us, I guess, some pieces or artworks that art lovers would very much look forward to, to see or whether to purchase?
I think for the show, we have a few artists that are there that are very senior, like Tam Austria, there's Martin Hunasan, and then we also have JC Ental, and also Solen, and we also have interesting pieces from the PW group that's being supported by the Amorsolo Foundation themselves. So I think we have a great selection here of 50 unique pieces for the show.
Exciting things in store. But last question, why was the ABSCBN Foundation chosen as the beneficiary of Art House for this?
Well, we had an initial project with them in our first show back in June, a project called Hulma. And our thrust is actually to be able to help the Typhoon Odette victims. And I approached ABS-CBN Foundation because they had a good execution program for Typhoon Odette. And that's the main reason why we partner with them. And second, we believe that agriculture is a very important and integral part of our economy moving forward. So I think it's very important for the Art House to be supporting this sector specifically.
Ms. Sylvia, do you mind inviting, of course, our viewers in the audience right now to partake or, to also just see the art pieces that will be featured in HIRAYA?
Yeah, actually, we're so grateful for these the artists to include their visual works, and also the main purpose is to help the ABS-CBN Foundation. And on the first day, the foundation, Fernando C. Amorsolo Art Foundation Incorporated, will be displaying about 5 paintings for the artists to be able to see the original ones, sort of motivate them and be able to more or less have their own style in their own paintings.
Mr. Juan Carlos Pineda, President of Art House, and Fernando Amorsolo's daughter, Ms. Sylvia Amorsolo Lazo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.